Hi, everybody. Good evening. Welcome. Today is an extra special webinar, and you can see why. There's not just one, there's two people. And this is so that you don't get tired of my face because you see me every single day. So today we have the honor of having Ms. Joy Chauhan, and she's the one. Ms. Joy, can you wave at everybody for me? Yeah,
Good
there she
evening,
is.
everyone.
Yeah, and she is the principal of Thakur International School. So before, as we're waiting for more people to come on, I'm just going to give you a little bit of intro, okay, about who she is. So basically, Ms. Joy did her high school in Tanzania, in Dar es Salaam, actually, in a school there. And believe it or not, it was one of her teachers, her French teacher, who inspired her to do what she's doing today. So think about that, okay? Think about those teachers that you have in school and that you're missing so dearly. They could have such a positive impact on you. So she finished high school and then she did her bachelor's and then her master's in economics and political science. In about 2003, correct, Ms. Joy, is when she
Yes,
started to teach economics with other subjects also. And I think that was at Vibgyor, correct?
I
Yes.
started with City International.
City International and then
Yes.
went to Vibgyor, and then in 2018 she became the principal. And what I love about, I was reading through, Ms. Joy, your profile, and what I love about you is you're always looking for opportunities to impact students in a positive way, to make their lives better and for them to be passionate about learning. And just this is one such opportunity that she's using here in order to talk to all of you. So I wish you all were sitting in front of us because we could have given her a big round of applause. But over to you, Ms. Joy.
Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction,
Of course.
Sangeeta. So, well, in this time where we are in a pandemic situation with COVID-19 and all the things that are floating around, we have this thing. Most of us are quite anxious and wondering exactly what are we looking at? Are we looking at a longer time, or will this get over soon? We keep looking at WhatsApp and TV, and so there's an uncertainty. It's like an unprecedented emergency which we never ever had foreseen or thought that we would ever have to look at. But in this time also, we see that not only are parents and anxious and children anxious, but we are also thinking about many things: our health, we're thinking about finances, we're thinking about what we are missing out when we go out, because we're so used to going out, right? Whether it's parents, children, all of us right now, we just miss being out. And children all the more, they've thought initially that okay, fine, school's over and we get to be home, but within 4 5 days that novelty had worn off, and they were like literally stuck at home and without being able to meet their friends and be able to go down, play, go elsewhere. So everyone is at home, but then yes, let's make the most of it, because it's not going to last. Nothing lasts forever, right? So this too shall pass. I know that this is a sentence very cliched, many people are using it, but well, it's a fact. It is going to pass, and all of us are looking at a time when uh, we will definitely be in a better space. In the meantime, make the most of the situation that is there. Learn to manage in this kind of an emergency thing, and don't take it one day at a time. I think that is really, really important. So initially, when all this online learning and all started, because we all, as soon as schools closed, the first thing that we knew as educators is, first, how are we going to keep support our children, right from whether they are little ones or older ones, and how are we not only going to support them, but we also need to connect with them. So many schools, they are enabled technologically, so that was not so difficult. But then there aren't some who are not yet connected. They did have a problem, but I think in a short while everyone got it. Within a couple of weeks, people were using different mediums. So in our case, in Thakur International IGCSE and A levels at Kandivali West, we used Hangout Meet as well as Google Classroom. So it was pretty simple that we would mail activities and worksheets and all that. And classes were on Hangout Meet. But then there were other methods too. So we saw that people were using Cisco WebEx, then there's Microsoft Teams, then we have, of course, Zoom, which people were using. And then there was this issue of, inappropriate content in the middle. So people stopped using it. Some are using Skype. So there is a method for everyone. And this is as far as online teaching is concerned. So be a little patient with all the teachers, the entire education community, because this is something which no one was actually prepared for. Yes, we do use technology, but we never thought that we'd have to completely start, teaching online, and give them some time to settle down, because teachers who were used to having a physical class are suddenly told that here's a screen, here's a mic, here's some technology, now you just go ahead and deliver the class. So it's difficult. So I'm sure that with the support of all our wonderful parents and the of course the teachers, the school, the management, we can all manage to do it well. But let's think about it from the point of view of children. Now, for children also, it's very difficult to connect just like that. You tell them, don't decrease your screen time. Now we tell them, no, the screen is the thing that you're going to use. So it's a bit difficult. But yes, children too have to follow a few guidelines. Okay. So first of all, don't forget that we have to be a little focused, because since you can't attend school or college, you have to make do with these online classes, which is your connect with your teacher, okay, with your school. So find a designated area where it is a little quiet, where you can focus, where you can manage to give your time, and that will be easy for you to also manage your workplace. So if you have typically your worksheets and your writing materials, you could just be there and every time go to that place only and take your class. Finish your assignments so that you will be ready with the stuff for the next class. Whenever your next lecture is, you would have finished it. Don't try to cram it all up in the end. The other thing is that it's a big temptation to also have, say, your phone and be checking social media and all that, isn't it? Because who's going to see? Yeah. So avoid that, because make the most of your online class and don't lose your concentration. Yes, your teacher may never find out that you are, on, say, whatever other platforms or playing an online game. But you're cheating only yourself, isn't it? So don't do that. Ask questions, take part in the class discussions. Some use the chat box, some say you can unmute yourself and discuss. That's fine, whichever way, but you are in class. And it's also important that you jot down things. And parents also, of course, are supportive and can support the children further by giving them that complete, at that time, make things at home, make it conducive to a learning environment. Because when we are in school, yes, it's a conducive learning environment. Now parents have been told that now it's you have to do everything. So I know it's really difficult, because as we say, a village raises a child. But now it's the family which is the village. Okay, so it's we are only remote. You are there with the children all the time. So give them a routine and fill up the routine with not only the classes but also other things to do. So now, for example, if you have chores to do at home, divide it among the children. Let them also feel responsible. Maybe it's just watering the plants, making the beds, clearing up after dinner, washing the utensils. Right now, all of us are without any kind of help. So you could divide the task between the kids and make them feel responsible, because then they also take pride in running their home. That is helping them with management skills. These are life skills which need to be practiced at home, and they imbibe it. Above everything else, parents, be calm. This is the time that the kids are looking up to you. It's very difficult, I know, because we work from home and we are working at home. It's really tough, but it's something which we need to, as parents, maintain that kind of calmness. And at the same time, uh, these are the times when values will be imbibed with by the children, because we will indirectly or directly be preaching it to them. When they see us clearing up a particular thing and not procrastinating, you have taught them a very useful life skill, and that is, do not procrastinate. So that is how it goes. Values are actually taught like that. At the same time, along with dividing up the tasks and all at home, also give them time to relax. Just let them relax a little. Kids need to relax, and need to have that feeling that they're not at all times trying to get there somewhere and only study, or for example only do something which is going to support them academically. Let them just relax a little. But yes, children also be away from the screen for a while, because your relaxation is not going to be only with, say, studying online and then also playing online. Give yourself a music break or dance a bit. There's so many do-it-yourself videos also, so you could just have seen that and then do it in your free time. And just put on the music and shake a leg. You'll get some exercise also, since you can't go out. And at the same time, exercise and music always actually rejuvenates you, because all the happy home hormones are there, which sort of hit us, and then we are also calmer and happier. So you could practice yoga, meditation. A lot of is said about mindfulness, but mindfulness is something that we could also do, that because you just need to be a little more aware of yourself, aware of the things that actually keep you calm and still. So even if things around you seem panicky, you can still remain absolutely cool and calm. There was this very interesting webinar which I attended recently. It was by Mr. Brendan. So he was talking about mindfulness, and actually he talked about how the best place, the most calm place to be is in the eye of the storm. So if there's a storm around you, the calmest place is there. So that is how we as children also need to remember that even if you get this, very worrisome news, coronavirus is going to peak in another week, and in 2 weeks it's going to be an all-time high. Remember, take one day at a time. Do not let that worry you. Practice safe sanitation, social distance, and you'll be fine. And yes, so many people also get cured. So if you do get it, that's something also that we will, I'm sure that we will be able to come out of that too with good care. So these are some things that we need to remember. Also, it's okay for a child to get bored. Very often children say, I'm bored. We also say that. But when you're bored, you also are creative, because then you have to find something to do. So then you, at that point of time, you also start becoming creative, and you maybe start doing some doodle, some painting, anything. So there are a lot of activities that one can do even with their children, because we are not going to get time like this with our family too. So let's enjoy that. So we have typically all of us are locked down with our kids, with our spouse, with our extended family. Maybe if you're in a joint family, make the most of it. Play some board games. This is the right time to play your Monopoly, Ludo. You can make a giant hopscotch and jump. Yes, you can do all those things together. You can play the old, our old national, this thing that is Antakshari. Everyone seems to love it. Do that. De-stress and enjoy the time together. But yes, when you're talking about coming back to our online learning, it's very important that you do not forget that, yes, this is in place of school, so make the most of it. So you have to, uh, continue with your online lectures, and at the same time, pay attention to what you're doing, study, and work really hard. Because I mean, now that all the other activities in many of the schools, other activities have been put at a pause, and you're actually focusing on hardcore academics, make the most of that time. If you are applying abroad and if you've finished your A levels or grade 12, it's very important at this time that you could write your statement of purpose, and you'll have the time to do it. During school you are not able to, because you have so many things going on, and you often hear students saying that we are not getting time. But here now you have all the time to do that. So you could also keep a backup plan, find out online about the other universities, so that if you're not able to go abroad, because with the current scenario, many of the families are, the parents, if they are losing their jobs or their businesses are down, then how would you do it? How would they be able to send children out? So then, in that case, you need to have a backup plan. In India, there are many good universities, so you could start looking around and have a backup plan ready. So you have Kriya, you have Flames, you have Ashoka. There are many others. You could always find out everything and uh, put in your best over there. You could do that. For people with little children, it's really tough, because children are really at this age very, very, they're more like kinesthetic learners, and they want to move around. They have to get more aware of their bodies, and they do everything by either touching, feeling, jumping. So you'll have to give them that liberty and let them do that. Have their nap time. At the same time, give them a fixed routine, because all of us are creatures of habit. I mean, initially in the first week, I think all of us caught up on our sleep. After that, we needed a routine. So now everything is in a particular routine, where we spend some time with household work, some time with our work hours, which take up quite a bit of time juggling between. Then whatever we want to say, catch up on our news, our studying, or anything else like that, relaxing time. So children also need a proper schedule. And for the little ones, it's very important that I mean, if it's puppets, you could make it with your parents. The children could make it with their parents, and this is the time when they can probably help you to make to sort of probably bake something. Lot of children love to cook with their parents. You could do that, and use the time constructively. So it's
Thank
really, yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Ms. Joy. I'm just looking at some of the questions that are
Yes,
coming,
yes.
and so then I'm just getting, I don't want to miss an opportunity to ask you, but I love that you were saying just to find that balance, right? Especially with that gadget time, screen time or whatever it is. I think it's so important because now kids are like, we're on our computers all day long or
All day
laptops,
long.
and our eyes are hurting by the end of it. So you've given such practical ideas, that they can do, like was gardening or cooking or doodling, or somebody was even saying like painting or playing cricket. You can't play cricket, but then even in the house there are things that you can
Yes.
do, like ludo and things like that. But there's one student who's asking, Agam Bawa is asking, please can you let me know how we can increase our focus level? So, do you have any thoughts or ideas of how, if they sit to do something, and I know kids have often asked this, if they are looking at their, Zoom or whatever they're having their class, Google Hangouts, that they don't look at other websites and just focus on what they're doing? Like,
Yeah.
how do they reduce that distraction? What advice do you have for them?
Whenever you are going to attend a class, first I think that if you've got your phone and all with you, switch off the internet. So then people are going to call you. Who I mean, if it's really important, that also put it on vibration mode, so that your first, I think, a big percentage of distraction is over at that point of time. Secondly, be in a area where there is very little distraction. So, for example, don't have a class in front of, say, the TV is also on, and the something or the other is, being, you can see something on TV, whether it's a movie or some news or anything, because these things keep our focus away. So switch off the internet, be away from the TV or anything like that. And if possible, if the home is large enough, then a separate room. If not, then in a secluded area of the home which you actually have only designated to study. So once you're in that place, the family members also know that no, now this person is going to study.
Study.
Then
Correct.
the other thing to stay focus would be do take down notes even if your teacher is not instructed, because what you take down is what you will study actually, because that's what has been important to you. So some schools are sending recorded videos,
Videos.
some are, yeah, videos, and some are not. So all the more you consider that it's not getting recorded and start writing down the points. This helps you to focus, and I'm sure that after that you would not really be distracted. Also, if you can do breathe in and breathe out, have the breathing exercises in place, which you should do in the morning. So when you get up and when you wake up, what most of us do is, as we get out of bed, we reach for our phone and check, okay, our notifications. Don't do that. Wait another 10 minutes. Finish off with your thinking about the day, that what do I have in store? What a beautiful day it is. Yes, you can hear things now, right? Birds and all that. Be aware of your surrounding. And when you do that, a part of you has already learned how to focus. So
Absolutely.
so that kind of exercise helps you to stay stimulated.
And I've also told them, like, making a schedule, make a
Yes,
schedule today for tomorrow will help have more clarity as with regards. Don't you agree? I mean, that will also
yes,
help focus because you know what to look forward to. It's not haphazard learning, you know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
A schedule
So
helps
yeah,
us.
so Agambawa, quite a few of them asked. Katya, Yani, Soda, and Shivashri, all of you, I hope you've heard what Ms. Joy has been telling you. All of these tips that are very, very practical. You can put it into, practice even from this evening, something that you can start to do, and then try some of these, tools and techniques that she's been talking about for tomorrow. Okay. So there was Rizki Amalia Ramadhani, and they've been commenting, and I think very happy to be here, asking wondering what set of practical self-evaluation we can give to young learners on what they think and feel about this situation.
Okay, so young learners, when we talk about them, it depends upon, of course, the age group, age appropriate. So there are a lot of interesting things that we can do with them through a role play. You can, of course, tell them, first of all, is to tell them about it properly, a proper information, not just some kind of. Don't make it a bogeyman, because what if someone
Mm,
gets it?
right.
No one should get so scared of something. I mean, it's good to be scared, and take precautions, but what if somebody gets that? You cannot frighten them so much that the moment they contract it, they die of fright. So I would say that awareness, spread it to them. Many of the kids love to make posters, and give them that thing to do, that suppose now this is how it is, and it's a virus, and these are the ways you contract it and all. Now today we can make a poster on that. So this helps you to know whether they understood it. And if there is some miscommunication, like some children said it's airborne, for example, okay, then you can correct them, that see, no, there is no as of now the studies have showed that, say, it is only contracted through these ways, through droplets and all that, and it's not airborne. So you would know that they have understood it.
Right.
And of course, if it's for older children, then you can make a checklist and evaluate. There are loads of these online.
So there's so many people who actually, I mean, I can hear the struggle through the questions. I mean, people are
Yeah.
saying how to focus on math class. That's one. Ma'am, I made a routine, but after some days I overlooked it. So how should I stick to it? So they're all kind of struggling with focus and motivation, or how to make a schedule, or what's the best way of learning. And do you have, see, for me, I feel like, and this is what I think, each to its own, right? You, as a
Yes.
student, you need to find out what works best for you. What works for one person may not work for you. So you kind of have to explore, and this is a great time. And one of the, like someone said on the group, we're making history. We're part of something very historical. What is happening, and apparently there's a tweet thread from a historian. It seems like that suggests that we write down our version of COVID-19 world history. And I think, don't you think that's also
Yes.
like an
Yes.
amazing? So I think parents, if y'all are listening, it's important. Y'all play, I think, a very vital role in motivating your children also, because they're there with you. You know what their struggles are. There was one student, Miss Joy, who said, "I can't understand anything that's taught on online classes. Like they're struggling with just grasping that information." Is there any advice we can
Yeah.
give him?
Online is also, it does not address all kind of learners. Some
Right.
do not take it that way. So what you could do is, after that, go back to your the relevant text. You underline the difficulties, whatever you did not understand, and then mail those to your teacher. And probably she could send you a voice note with the explanation. That could help you, because see, we're not going to meet face to face, and the teacher is
Mm-hmm.
also going to be explaining it this way, I mean, in real time also. So rather, once you have found out that this is your difficulty, go through the textbook, underline it, make those points, mail it to the teacher will then find out the best way, where she could send you either a voice note, or explain it to you on a one to one, because at the end of it all, you will understand. In fact, some subjects like math and accounting are a little tough, because
Yeah.
they're missing the
Practice.
whiteboard.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah.
but there are applications also
That's a
that have
great
been.
idea. That just to hear like voice notes or whatever, right?
Yes,
Yashvi, I hope that works for you, because you'll have to find some sort of medium that will help you study. Okay, so think about what you require and maybe request your teacher whether they can help you with that, right? I'm sure teachers now are super flexible with how they want to support their children.
yes.
Mr. Rama is asking how to make reluctant children join online classes on a regular basis, especially the senior students. So it's a teacher
Okay.
who's actually struggling.
Straight. The first thing is that you have to speak. I mean, is this a teacher or a parent?
I think it's a teacher,
Teacher.
or
Okay.
maybe no. Let's say it's maybe a parent. I know, Mr.
Okay.
Rama, are you a teacher or a parent? I'm not sure.
So we'll
Uh,
take it both ways.
we'll take it both ways.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just about getting a child onto
Child.
the class. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So typically, what we do is, when we monitor, say, my coordinators, when they monitor a class, they see that out of, say, 22 children, 20 have not logged in. We give 5 minutes of grace time for internet issues and all that. And
Right.
then after the class, a call is placed to the parent, so that they can help the
Oh,
child to attend.
so there's
So make
accountability.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we are taking the attendance, because otherwise they'll miss out. And when are we going to catch up and teach them this again? We
So
may not have a very.
Ms. Joy, it's a teacher.
It's a teacher,
Yeah.
so the teacher has to speak to their coordinator and ask them to, or if you are at a liberty to, or the coordinator is at a liberty to, connect with the parent and tell them that we need you to attend your child to attend these classes.
Right.
Whoever it is, whether it's the guardian or whoever's in charge of the child, they need to ask them to attend. And otherwise, if there is nobody else who is accountable for the child, and if it's just the child, you need to get onto a call with the child and ask him what is the problem that he's facing, because we're looking at a very short academic year. So there's going to be no time to have all this taught once again. It can be a revision, but we're not going to be really covering all this again. So this is the way we have to be very firm about it, that the child will need to attend.
Right. There has to be
There has to
accountability.
be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then Mr. Joe Storm is asking, what kind of online assessment tools are you using? So as a school, what kind of online assessments are you using?
Yes, actually, we have finished with our academic year. So we finish, and we will
Okay.
begin only in the month of June. But we have worked out. So one way is, since we use Hangout Meet, we could of course use the drive to capture the answers. The children can save it in drive.
Oh,
But yeah, but at the same time, it will mean a lot of monitoring by the parents, because otherwise you have to take another LMS, platform, and every school would not probably want to buy one, at this point of time, because schools are also going to face a challenge about fees, and how are parents going to be about the next academic year. So if you're looking at no investment, then that would be a good answer. You could just capture it on drive, have ask the parent to monitor also, and then the teacher can cut it from there.
yes.
Yes, that could be one way. Otherwise, there are many. You'll have to see whichever ones are suitable for your school, and there are many methods. There's yesterday, in fact, I saw a very beautiful presentation by Flip Learn also.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
they also have that,
Yeah.
and there are many others.
Yeah, flipped classroom works really well, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Joe Storm is saying, and we agree with you, the onus can be on the parents for the attendance of the child. You're right.
Absolutely,
So,
yes.
parents, if you're listening, a lot of responsibilities are on you, I know, but then this is for the benefit of your children. Also, Ms. Sandhya is saying, even recorded presentations on the topic by educators will help the students to revise it again. So I think a lot of schools might have recorded versions of the classes that they're taking, right? So that,
Yes.
they can. So for those who are asking me questions that are not connected to what Ms. Joy has been talking about, like entrance exams and best colleges, please write into me at guideme@univariety.com, and then I'll respond to you. Today, we're not going to touch upon that. Ms. Joy, I'll give you one last fun question, and that is Vivek Chaudhary is asking, is it right to watch web series or movies to refresh or be less under pressure? What do you think?
Yeah, I think everything is good in moderation. So if you've just had a few hours, where you have attended webinars or you've done online classes, there's no harm. You can. But if you're going to finish season 1, season 2, season 3 in one day, then it's a problem.
Good point. Yes. Sorry, I'm going to give you one more question because it's very, very, very important. What is the
Yes.
best way to handle children with difficult learning ability and possible approach to motivate pupils?
Yeah. So,
That's a good question. Yeah.
yeah, motivate pupils. The first thing is, if you're talking about different kind of learning, like if they have a learning concern or a learning disability, then we would have to look at the internet to download a whole lot of material which is available, free material, because uh, they need to repeat the task a lot. They need to have repeated tasks which they can help to sort of strengthen their concepts. So to build up their concepts and to keep on revising them, they would have to go over and over that. The teacher would only deliver the lesson once. After that, it will be difficult. So at that point of time, if the parent is also there and the child is attending the class, it would help for the parent or the child to take down all the points and then sit down with the child and revise those points.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it would of course mean more effort from the point of view of the parent.
Right.
Where there are recorded sessions, then of course you can go through that.
That.
And note building, looking back at what you have done, keywords helps the children with concerns, learning concerns.
Yeah.
And as far as motivating the children is concerned, I mean, children bounce back very fast. So they're just waiting. So the biggest motivation for them is that, this is going to get over soon, and we will all be back very quickly to semi-normal and then normal life. So in the meantime, you do your best, because we are all working. They see their parents also working from home. So that is also motivation. I mean, nobody is just sitting around and doing nothing. Apart from even the older people in the house, everyone is contributing and doing something.
Absolutely.
So that could be a motivation, and have a goal as a family that, once we are all out of this, we're going to do this together. We'll go someplace. Do those, each family would have to find out their own way out for this.
Do you predict that we'll be out of this at least by the next academic year? I mean, as a educator, as a principal, do you think that we'll be back in the school hopefully once the summer's over?
I would love to say yes, but I don't know.
So we just all have to remain positive. That's
we will have to remain positive.
Someone actually did ask that question. So I think,
yes,
Shubhada, I think we just have to remain positive and think positive, and hopefully we'll all be, because obviously right now everything is very unsure. There are some of you who've asked me questions about, or asked Ms. Joy questions about study skills and schedules. I've already done this through last week. For last, please go to our YouTube channel called Univariety, and you'll be able to see all of these things. And even the recorded session today that Ms. Joy has so graciously, been a part of this webinar this evening. So you can go, if you want to go through some of the ideas that she's talked about and the questions that she answered, especially your questions. If you want to see it, you can go to our YouTube channel. Okay. So I'm going to say thank you, Ms. Joy, for your time and all your valuable input and advice and wisdom. Thank you so much. We have people from Turkey and from Nigeria and Oman and Saudi and India here. First time because of you. So thank you. So this
thank you so much.
Special. Yeah, thank you everyone for being here. We're going to be here tomorrow. We're going to talk about how it's important to have a very impressive extracurricular activity CV or a portfolio profile, whatever you want to call it. So please, you don't want to miss it, especially now. You definitely need it. It's not just your subjects or your transcripts that colleges are looking at. They also want to see what you're doing outside the classroom. And then on Friday, we have Ashoka University with us, so you don't want to miss that either. All right. So, Ms. Joy, any parting words from you?
Just one more thing, that there are a lot of virtual labs. So you could go online and, because children who miss out on the science practical sessions, you could go there. I can send it to you, Sangeeta.
That would be lovely. And then I'll send it out to everybody. Yeah. Whoever's here today, we'll send it to them. Yes. Fantastic. That would be great. Yeah.
Thank you thank you to everyone for joining from all over the world, and to the parents, and especially to all the dear children. And thank you, Sangeeta, for being a wonderful host, and thank you, Univariety.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Ms. Joy. Take care. Have a good evening. Have a good evening, everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.